Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Theos here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I'll be doing a movie review of one of my most anticipated movies of 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is once again directed by Peyton Reed and is the third film in the Ant-Man trilogy. It stars Paul Rudd, Catherine Newton, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jonathan Majors, Bill Murray, and William Jackson Harper. You may know William Jackson Harper as Chidi from The Good Place, by the way. And basically, the film tells the story of the Ant family who got trapped into the quantum realm, and so while they're trapped, they get to explore the quantum realm and the different possibilities around it, and all the weird stuff, and and then the big plot comes when Kang shows up. Kang is an exiled variant who wants to get out of of the quantum realm to conquer the world. So when Scott meets Kang, Kang tells Scott to give him something he needs to get out of here without knowing. So almost brainwashes Scott, but then when Scott finds out that it was all just a setup, a huge war in the quantum realm starts. So yeah, I was beyond hyped for this. I think y'all know how much I was hyped to see this movie because this was actually my most anticipated MC movie of the entire year. Yes, even more than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And even though Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I will admit now, I do think that film could be, might be better. I'm more excited for it now, like, after seeing that the new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 trailer, which by the way, that Super Bowl trailer, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it is my favorite trailer of the year so far. Yeah, I'm sorry, Flash. But I mean, I was still hyped for this film. And this had the potential to bring back the MCU fans. This had the potential to pretty much have the fans stop being divided. I mean, this is the start of a new phase. This is the start of a new era, and yeah. So I was really like hyped to see what they have in store. And I was hoping that this would get the critical rave that the MCU should have deserved a long time ago. Unfortunately, this movie is one of the worst reviewed movies on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 48%, 48%, and this movie is getting slammed by fans alike. And for a movie that actually introduces Kang, like the true Kang, not the Loki Kang, that the like what Kang can actually do, like finally establishes his powers into something that's something where they actually raise the stakes really high. They raise the bar really high, and looks like something really more exciting. Yeah, people just tore this movie apart, and some even go as far as calling this the worst MC movie ever. Well, thankfully, it didn't really dethrone Eternals as the lowest, but it is like on par. I mean, it's only 1% away from Eternals' Rotten Tomatoes score, and wow, I mean, wow, like, are you serious right now? I mean, I was upset when I saw this movie getting all the bad reviews. I mean, have none of you all learned to give the MCU a chance? It's pretty obvious you guys only hate this movie just because you hated Phase 4. Phase 4. I mean, I just made a video explaining why you should give this movie a chance because it's Phase 5 a chance. It's mainly because of people hating this film. Like, they take this. I mean, there are thankfully some people who defend it, but the defenders of this movie only call it decent at best. But like everyone says, the first Ant Man is better. But yeah, this movie right here. Yeah. People said that this. People were like officially done with the MCU. They said, "Oh, the MCU has officially crossed the line, and they're not gonna watch any more MCU movies." Well, with the exception of Guardians 3, because we all know Guardians 3 will be a masterpiece. But yeah, people were done with the MCU. Like, they all said, okay, that's it. They crossed the line. I'm not watching any more MCU movies. Besides Guardians 3 and Deadpool 3. Like, wow. And I don't even know if they'll even watch these MCU movies that they're not seeing in theaters and Disney Plus. Looks like the MCU is gonna start like failing at the box office, which I pray it doesn't. But yeah, after seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for myself, I gotta say, I absolutely adored it. This movie was a masterpiece, a mind-blowingly epic masterpiece, and I don't care what anyone says, because this saying this is the best Ant-Man movie is an understatement. I mean, the first two Ant-Man films are not even close to being one of the best MCU movies ever. I mean, I still do like the first two Ant-Man films. They're just lighthearted fun, but you know they're garbage in comparison to this like king of Ant-Man movies. Yeah, this movie was absolutely incredible. I mean, I had no complaints about this movie. Yeah, no joke. I had no flaws. Well, I would say it did end weirdly. Like I would say that the ending had a weird cut. Basically Scott was like in this restaurant eating the cake. It's like, oh, this is bad, and then it cuts to the closing credit scene. I was like, what really? But I guess that's it. That's my one nitpick. But I don't know if that's even like a nitpick. But like yeah, I really had no complaints about this film. Um, yeah, this is just pure epic. People's complaints were like that this movie was way too ambitious. I mean, these anime films are meant to be lighthearted comedies, lighthearted comedies, and then like this one came around to be more serious, more action packed, and yeah, but and then people are like, oh, why you make an anime movie serious? No, it's supposed to be comedy. Like, where's all the comedy? But okay, here's the thing, people. People have been criticizing the MCU for having too much comedy, like being too comedic. And then all of a sudden, when this movie came out, you're like, oh my, it's too serious. Where's the comedy? Okay. At this point, the fans just want nothing from the MCU. This is another case of people just trying to invent criticism for the MCU. That like I mean, people complain over the MCU having comedy, and now like they're gonna complain over the MCU movie being serious. Like, what do you want from the MCU? Come on, people! Like, just stop it. Yeah. This is why the MCU hate is so toxic. This is why I can't stand the MCU hate. They'll just like keep complaining over everything, even though the MCU just gives fans what they want. They'll just like complain about everything until the MCU dies. I mean, if you're gonna ask them what would you do to fix the MCU, to fix the MCU, the multiverse saga, they'll be like, make it not exist at all. I mean, that is a piss poor excuse. There's a reason why this series this exists, especially if you've read the comics. But yeah, wow. I mean, what like, where do I even start with this? I will say this right now. The visual effects. This is the most visually stunning MCU movie ever, and one of the most visually stunning movies. Period. Like the most visually stunning MCU movie. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I would award this movie as the best visuals of the year. The only movie this year that I think has a chance of topping this as the best visuals is Dune Part Two. But otherwise, this may have the best visuals of the year. It's absolutely trippy. I mean, the world of the quantum realm looks absolutely gorgeous. The world building and like the world building in both this film and for and the world building for the future of the MCU is outstanding. I mean, yeah, this movie is pretty much the perfect start of Phase 5, like what's to come. I mean, Phase 4 is just like an experimental phase. Even though I love Phase 4, I mean, Phase 5 is just like yeah, this is I mean, like this is the perfect way to start the MCU. I mean, out of all the MCU movies that pretty much kickstarted the phase, like Iron Man 1, Iron Man 3, 1 for Phase 1, Iron Man 3 for Phase 2, Captain America Civil War for Phase 3, and Black Widow for Phase 4. This is the best one of them all. Like, this is how you start one of the biggest events in the MCU period. And people complain that this is a setup to the Kang Dynasty, and let me tell you right now, this made me even more hyped for the Kang Dynasty. the Kang Dynasty, because yeah, after seeing this film now, I think that both the Kang Dynasty and the Secret Wars are both tied as my most anticipated MCU movie ever. I still think Secret Wars could be better, but Kang Dynasty, I'm way more hyped for Kang Dynasty now. For Kang Dynasty now, because yeah, we need Kang Dynasty, like we need that Avengers from right away, like ASAP. Because man, and speaking of Kang, yeah, I think we should talk about Kang, because if there's one thing about the movie that everyone unanimously loves, it's Kang, because Kang is the new Thanos, and now I know people say that Kang is better than Thanos. To me personally, I wouldn't go as far as calling him better than Thanos, but he is an epic villain. I think he is like one of the best villains in the MCU. I have no idea where I'd put him in the I'd rank him, but certainly lower than both Scarlet Witch and Thanos. They're both still the best MCU villains, but Kang, like, wow. I mean, for an Ant-Man movie, like Ant-Man that's supposed to be small scale. In fact, Ant-Man is one of the weaker MCU like characters. Like, no, not weakest. Not weakest in like writing, of course. Like I love, I adore Scott Lang's development. But what I meant to say is like Ant-Man is one of the weaker MCU characters. Like in strength, like not strong, and yet he's challenging one of the most powerful godlike MCU villains, period. And wow, I mean, that is a risk to take. Like, that is how you set the bar really high. And I know people are saying, oh, it's just all expositions, can't just explain things. I mean, he did better than Loki. And yes, people, I think this Kang is a much better Kang than Loki Kang, because Loki Kang, honestly, I actually rewatched Loki episode 6 in preparation for this movie, like earlier this morning, and honestly, I'm not a fan of Kang. I think not a fan of Loki's Kang. I mean, I did like the finale. I really like it. I love what they're going for, but like, I understand what they're going for with the Kang and Loki, but I feel like his Kang is way too jokey. I mean, they kind of treated Kang like a clown. Like, again, he's like the harmless Kang. Like, you say, oh, if you think I'm bad, just wait till you see my other variant. So he's like, he's very harmless. But in this in this movie, Kang's like, okay, no more games, no more comedy time. Let's get serious. And he literally just smashes everything. He destroys everything. And wow, you really get to, like, really left me at the edge of my seat. I mean, Kang's like, I mean, when he said, I am Kang, I mean, that gave me chills. Like, that gave me goosebumps. In fact, a lot of this movie gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps, and yeah, like, so I'm happy that people at least love something about this film, like unanimously love, even though like the movie itself. But even then, the movie itself is there's still more to love than just Kang. What else is there to say? I'll talk about the best part later. Uh, I mean, I like the Ursies, but I don't love them, I will say. I mean, the Ursies were good, but anything involving the quantum realm is really good. I mean, the Ursies, I will say, they're mostly just typical Ant-Man. Like basically they're just typical Ant-Man movie, like, you know, in the first two. But when, like, anything with the quantum realm, like, I love every single second of the quantum realm scenes. Like, by the way, the Ursies, that's not a criticism, by the way, because but I just prefer that in the quantum realm. And yeah, I love all the aliens. I mean, the aliens, like, they're weird, but I love it. I mean, they're weird enough. And yeah, and now let's talk about MODOK. Yeah, I think you also speculated that MODOK is actually Darren Cross. It's not speculation. I mean, it was already confirmed that MODOK is Darren Cross. If you saw the trailer and you look closely and pay attention, you see like Corey Stoll's head on MODOK. Yeah, he released the identity. I will say that MODOK is the weakest link in the film, in my opinion. But I still like MODOK. I don't love it, but I will say, um, as someone who hates Yellow Jacket, I will say MODOK is much, much, much better than Yellow Jacket. Like now that is how you do yell like Darren Cross properly. I mean, yeah, I will admit, yes, like people say that his CGI is ugly, but you know, if you're just gonna say that, well, I'm gonna defend you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there if you think that if you're gonna say that. Modok is supposed to look ugly. I mean, in the comics, Modok is supposed to look ugly, and he's yeah, and I think they nailed that ugliness like very well. I mean, so like if you criticize Modok for looking ugly, then yeah, you obviously haven't read the comics or at least watch the Modok cartoon. Yes, there's a Modok cartoon. I haven't seen it yet, but I think you should watch it. I haven't really seen any Marvel cartoons like that and Hit Monkey. I haven't really seen those yet, but yeah, moving on. And yeah, so I mean, I don't mind Modok, but but he is the weakest link in the film. But yeah, and I also love some of the small roles that major characters play for like when major characters play like we get Bill Murray who you may know as the main guy in Ghostbusters. He was in this film, and yeah, and even though he got a small role, he was barely in it. I mean, I'm actually happy. I'm happy we got to see Bill Murray. I mean, inside the MCU, and then you got like what I said, and then we got Chidi from A Good Place. Yes, us and the Chidi. I mean, The Good Place is my favorite. Yeah, The Good Place is my favorite. Sitcom of all time, my favorite comedy show of all time, and my top 10. I definitely should review The Good Place first. I mean, if um if Chidi is in this, then Kristen Bell should be in the MCU at some point. I think Kristen Bell should. I don't think Kristen Bell would play a superhero. At least like a side character. Like I think Kristen Bell should play Alicia Masters in Fantastic Four. If you don't know who she is, she's basically this journalist who interviews the Fantastic Four. Like she was in the original Fantastic Four, but not in the new in the one we don't the version we don't talk about. But yeah, I think Kristen Bell should play that character in Fantastic Four. But yeah, I'd love to see Kristen Bell in any superhero movie at some point if they're gonna bring in Chidi. And he's definitely one of the he's a great character, but I think him as Chidi is way better. Like a much better role. And then like some of the more main characters. I mean, I don't have much to say about Hank and Hope, but Hope is I would say Hope is a slight step down from Ant-Man the Wasp. I mean, I do prefer her look a bit more than Ant-Man. Her with long hair, like I think that they should have kept the Hope with long hair instead of like getting a haircut. But I love the Wasp. I mean, she's still a badass. Especially the final battle. Like I mean, it still lives up to the Ant-Man the Wasp name. But they should have called it like they should have called it something like Ant-Man and Cassie. I mean, what was Cassie's superhero name again? I know Cassie had a superhero name, but they haven't really but they never mentioned her name. But yeah, I can't really remember. I mean, I can't really remember what her superhero name is. But it should have been Ant-Man and whoever Cassie's superhero name. Quantumania. Yeah, it should have been that. Maybe Ant-Man 4. Um, Ant-Man 4. They should call it Ant-Man and insert Cassie superhero name or whatever you call it. So yeah, like they never said her name. But I know she has a name, but I really don't remember it. I'll get to Cassie. I'll say Cassie for last because I got things to say about her. Um, and then yeah, yeah. I mean, I really like Hank. I mean, Hank is actually a lot better here than I thought he would be. Like I was like wondering what Hank is gonna do. Without spoiling anything, we actually get to see Hank's ants contribute something to the story, which is something I did not see coming. Yeah, I like there's a lot of things unpredictable about the film, and you wouldn't really see like those things coming because yeah I think by the way I'm not really gonna spoil anything in this review. I'm gonna like my spoilery review will be a Letterboxd. But I'm doing this first before my Letterboxd review. But yeah, but there is a lot to digest into. Like, even with a 2 hours and 5 minutes runtime. And by the way, that's another thing. I love the fast pacing. I didn't mind that they went inside the quantum realm like after 5 minutes. I mean the Earth scenes lasted about 5 minutes like and before they get stuck into the quantum realm, and I love that. I love Janet as well. I know Janet Michelle Pfeiffer is one of the best. People say Michelle Pfeiffer is one of the best characters in the film. Some even say she is the best character. I'm actually happy that people are raving about a female character. Some are saying that a female character is the best character. That's what I love to hear. I would say she is my third favorite character. Yeah, I mean, I do think Kang's a better character, but I love Janet. But I think that Janet actually might be the main character, arguably the main character, because it's about her and her interactions with Kang. Like that's pretty much one of the more important parts of the story. Like it's one of the more important parts of the story. And man, Michelle Pfeiffer, like this is actually her best performance yet. No joke, people. This is her best performance. This is her best role. Yeah, I mean even better than Catwoman in Batman Returns. Yeah, like I'm happy people are praising Janet. Yeah, she is amazing, and like what I said, her best performance. And then we get to the two best parts of the film, the two best of the best aspects of the entire film, and I can't wait to talk about them to you, with you. Actually, there's still three things I need to mention. Three things. Like I want to talk about the title, the main character himself, Scott Lang. I mean, this is Scott's best arc yet, by far. I mean, I really love this arc. So, basically, Scott's arc in this film is that like he wants more time with Cassie. He must do everything like he wants more time with Cassie. So like Kang knows that. So Kang offers Scott a choice a chance to relive the 5 years, but of course Kang set him up. So I really love the arc, and him like being a passionate father. Like what I said, he is indeed the one of the best fathers, fictional fathers of all time. Like if I made a top five best movie fathers, he would certainly be on the list. This movie just completely solidifies him as one of the greatest fictional fathers ever, and the best MCU parent in the MCU. I just love his passion for his daughter, like Cassie, and yeah. Now let's talk about the action, because man, for an Ant-Man movie, this is overloaded with action. This movie is bombarded with action scenes, and this movie does feel like Star Wars. I mean, you've heard people say this movie is like Star Wars, because it is like a Star Wars movie. And yeah, like the action scenes are like the action scenes are like actions you don't get to see in the MCU. I mean, with all the laser shooting, they really do feel like Star Wars, and like this. That's what I love about this movie. It's completely different from all of Star Wars. From the MCU. I mean, the action that doesn't feel the same, and I guess that's why the critics rated this movie low, because this movie does feel like Star Wars. It's nothing like the MCU, which is why they hate Eternals, because Eternals is nothing like the MCU. But this one, it has a bit of the MCU formula, but again, it still doesn't feel like the MCU. It feels more like a straight sci-fi movie, and I love that. But I mean, so many actions, but the final battle of this movie, oh my freaking god, the final battle of this movie, like, is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, for a movie that for a character that's supposed to be lighthearted, I mean, they really went all out this hard to, like, give us a final battle that's I'm gonna go as far as say it is the best final battle since Endgame. No joke. That final battle is absolutely epic. In fact, this felt like an Avengers level threat. I mean, like when Mysterio in Far From Home said, that was a Avengers level threat, because my god, Kang is a major threat. I mean, considering how much of a threat Kang and his whole army is, they pretty much just send all of the armies to fight Kang. Like every single alien in the quantum realm literally came together to have a massive war against Kang, and it's not as long as the Avengers final battle, but damn, it is just as epic. I mean, wow. I mean, it's almost like an Avatar level final battle. Yeah, that's how it's like Avatar final battle, like the Avatar movie. So yeah, in fact, this movie also kind of felt like Avatar, and the final battle is like basically Avatar meets Ready Player One. Avatar meets Rare Player One, and yeah, I mean, wow, 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 wow. Um, and yeah, Kang, yeah, is a badass, one of the most badass MCU villains ever. Plus him like fighting against Scott, like towards the end of the battle, like how he like fought Scott like solo. Wow, that is just absolutely intense, and it even gets brutal. I mean, you saw in the trailer that Scott gets brutal. Yeah, yes, it really is a brutal fight, and just wow. I mean, I am just blown away. The fire battle gave me chills. It gave me everything, and again a fantastic score by Crystal Beck. Crystal Beck, yeah, is one of the most underrated composers of all time. In fact, yeah, I think he might be my top three favorite composers of all time, and yeah, I think I might like him more than Justin Harris now. Although I'll have to think about it. I think I might like him more than Justin Harris now. This is Crystal Beck's best score since Frozen 2. Yes, um, yeah, since Frozen 2. Yeah, I mean, wow. And before I talk about the best part of the movie, I want to ask, how's the story, by the way? Because I didn't really say much about the story. It's basically Frozen 2 meets Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Frozen 2 meets a Return of the Jedi. I mean, and by the way, saying it's similar to Frozen 2 without it being a ripoff, it's good if I say that, because I mentioned my favorite movie of all time. Frozen 2 meets Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Yeah, it's actually better than Return of the Jedi. In fact, I think it's better than anything Star Wars. It's, yeah, way better than the sequel trilogy. This is basically Rise of Skywalker done right. That's another possible description I can give the film. And man, now now we get into the best aspect of the film, the number one thing I love the most about the film, and that is Cassie Lang. Yeah, wow, like Cassie Lang, she turned out to be. I mean, I knew she was gonna be my favorite character, but she turned out to be even better than I thought. I'm gonna go as far as saying this right now. Cassie, maybe my new MCU hero. Yeah, my favorite MCU hero. Sorry, Kate Bishop, you've been top. Yes, Kate Bishop. Your show is still better than this movie, slightly better, but Cassie Lang is my new MCU idol, my new MCU hero. Just give me all the money for a Cassie Lang spin-off. Yeah, why don't we make a like we should make there should be a Cassie Lang solo film, like how her adventures before like when Scott was around. Minor spoilers ahead. Cassie said that she pretty much already became a superhero during the yeah, she already became a superhero during the blip, the 5 years of blip, like within the 5 years of the blip. She mentioned it like somewhere in the beginning, and I was like, ooh, why don't we see like how she became a superhero? That would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, I always said that Scott and Cassie have the best Scott and Cassie's relationship is the best aspect of these anime films. Well, this movie is save Cassie, like basically I think when Ant-Man pretty much where Ant-Man pretty much multiplies and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a weird scene, and yeah, this movie is very trippy as well. But Cassie Lang is everything I wanted, probably more than what I wanted from her character. Yeah, she is hot, and I mentioned she's even more badass than Scott and Hope like combined. Like she makes like wow. I mean, hopefully we get to see her in the Avengers films, and I mean, I would definitely be down for an Ant-Man 4 with again titled Ant-Man and Cassie's superhero, which I still need to figure out what her super name is. There were moments within Scott and Cassie's bonding where I almost teared up. I didn't really cry at a single time in this movie, but specifically the scenes when Scott and Cassie hug, I was tearing up, and man, I love Cassie. Like she's like literally the Batman level strong. That's how powerful she is, and you'll be like, oh, why are you comparing Cassie to Batman? Like, yeah, wow, like I don't care what anyone says, yeah. And I can't believe people hate Cassie. Like people hate her, and he said, and they're saying, oh, you should brought back Endgame Cassie, like Emma Furman. Well, I gotta be honest with you guys, I I I am not a fan of Endgame's Cassie. Now I know she only appeared in one scene in the film, so that's pretty much an unfair, like a little harsh. But let me tell you all why. It's because I feel like she seems really charmless. Like she first of all she looks way too old for Cassie, and I don't see that. I don't see her like recapturing the charm of Cassie. Like I don't see that in her face. I was like, how is she gonna like recapture the charm? Like how is she gonna be like the Cassie I know? Catherine Newton's Cassie is the Cassie I knew from was the Cassie I remember, and people be like, oh, but she sucks. Like Catherine Newton's like Cassie sucks because she's played by a popular actress. Yeah, that's the thing. People only hate Cassie just because she's played by a popular actress. I mean, I've seen people say, oh, she's the weakest link in the film. She's annoying, and but yeah, no, she's not annoying at all. I mean, I love her. And if you think that she's a Mary Sue and she just tries to figure out everything her own way, well, she does she actually does get help from Scott, and then be able to take Scott's advice on her own to become one of the most badass and people. So yeah, wow. And my personal favorite scene in the film, not really a spoiler, was when Cassie pretty much sent a hologram message to the entire quantum realm like send an army to every single citizen of the quantum realm to come together to fight Kang and his army. And man, I mean, the fact that it was actually Cassie who did it, it was Cassie who actually forged the army to fight Kang's army. Like, yeah, minor spoilers, but it was Cassie who actually like formed the army. And I mean, I'm really happy that she actually got something as a role as big as that. And yeah, I love Cassie, man. I love this Cassie. This is my Cassie. This is my MC gear right there. Um, yeah, and yeah, and also what I love about her is that she actually does feel like Scott again, like Scott all the way back in the first anime movie. Her character development still feels like Scott. Feels like Scott again, and like you know she went to prison. Like she's pretty much become like Scott in the first anime. Now she went to jail and like a few times, and yeah, maybe yeah, that's why we should definitely make a Cassie movie about what she's been doing, like what she has been doing throughout like the blip before. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So yeah, so overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is an absolute masterpiece. This was everything I wanted to be and more. This movie, in fact, probably exceeded my expectations. I should say. This is one of the greatest MCU movies of all time. Period. Not like top. I mean, it is. I will admit, this movie is a slight step down from the previous MCU film, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, but it is still like a masterpiece. This is the best ever movie. I mean, it's an understatement. This is this is just wow. I mean, this this may be the most underrated movie of all time. Yeah, I think this might now be my most underrated movie of all time. If I did my top 10 most underrated movies of all time today, I would have put this movie at number one because it's so underrated. I had no problems with it, no issues. I think the critics and the haters are absolutely wrong about this. And this is already the most underrated movie of 2023. No movie will be more underrated than this masterpiece. So yeah, the question is, would I like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 more than this? Well, it's possible, but I will watch that movie with a more open mind to see if it will top this one or not. But it is possible, in fact, because I mean, I'm fully like 1,000,000% more hype for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for giving us the best trailer of 2023 so far. But I mean, after seeing this movie, I have no idea if Guardians 3 will top this. So yeah, I love this movie. I will defend this movie with all my might and heart. I will defend this movie no matter what. So yeah, yeah. I know I'm fanboy Marvel. I'm overpraising this movie. Yeah, I know. I hope you guys won't think I'm only praising the movie just because of how hot Cassie is. No, I mean, it's because this movie is just epic and just everything. So yeah. With that said, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania gets, well, obviously a 10 out of 10. It's a flawless masterpiece. Is it perfect? I wouldn't say perfect. like because perfect is pretty much an objective level. So yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention to tell you, there's two post credit scenes and they're both worth it. The second post credit scene is better than the first post credit scene. So please stick it out for the post credit scene. Also, I saw this movie in Dolby Atmos. You should watch this movie in either Dolby Atmos 3D or IMAX 3D. If you watch this in just 2D with regular sounds with no Dolby Atmos, at least then you're not gonna get the full experience of this movie. So also for my review of Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, what is your opinion on this movie? Do you agree with me that this movie is an underrated masterpiece, or are you with the people who think that this movie is not that very good or it's mid? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. And just a heads up, I will do a video, some video essays on Cassie's character. I should do a video in defense of Cassie Lang. It's like I'm still gonna be doing in defense of characters I like that everyone else hates as series. I still don't have the time to do them yet, and I still need to gather my thoughts on them first before to do it. And yeah, so yeah, bye guys.